The three golden rules when it comes to building muscle. So again, like I've discussed before with the three golden rules of fat loss, the science of muscle growth is, when it comes down to it, is quite simple. People often complicate it and make it seem like it's this big complex thing that you need I need this special program, I need to shock the muscles, I need to switch it up all the time, shock the muscles, acting like acting like your muscle cells literally have minds that can be shocked and confused. I need to confuse the muscle. I have heard those things before. The likes of bodybuilders would say things like that. Oh, I need to do all these different variations in order to shock the muscles, change things up, keep them guessing. What? Muscles have fucking muscles are capable of conscious thought and fucking know they're being shocked here or confused. Your body doesn't know the difference between doing a 5x5 strength program or German volume training or strong lifts or you name the program. It doesn't know the difference. It responds to whatever stimulus you provide. It responds to whatever resistance you put on the body. So the first golden rule when it comes to achieving rapid muscle gain and the optimal muscle gain is being aware of the three key pathways for achieving muscle growth. Those three key pathways are, first off, mechanical tension. Second of all, cellular fatigue. And then the third is what I think called muscle damage. So out of those three pathways, the most important pathway, the one that is the most effective and efficient for building muscle, is mechanical tension. So without really getting technical here, mechanical tension is just basically the resistance and the resistance you apply to your muscles whenever you train. And mechanical tension can best be thought of as heavy, low rep strength training. And people often ask me, what is the best rep range to train in? What is the best style of training to train in for the purposes of muscle gain? And the thing is, when it comes down to it, good old fashioned heavy strength training, low reps is, in the long run, is the best way to gain muscle. The thing is, when it comes to strength and muscle gain, the two go hand in hand. Invariably, the stronger you get, the more muscle you're going to gain. So the more strength you have, the more potential for muscle you can gain. There are some exceptions. There are some people out there who are perhaps a bit smaller in terms of their frame, but they're very strong. They're literally utilizing their muscles. If you think about it, they are so efficient in using the little muscle mass they have. Contrast, have big bodybuilders who actually have been implementing the other means of achieving muscle growth. That would be cellular fatigue and muscle damage. So that's doing the likes of your high rep training where you're using lower weights. That both those pathways are effective tools to build muscle, but if you want to just have more than muscle, which for me, I don't want to just be a big fucking lump of muscle. I want to be strong, I want to be fit, I want to be functional, I want to be able to move well. I don't want to be one of those people who walks up a flight of stairs and literally is out of breath. Like some of those bodybuilders. I mean, I've been accused of, people say to me, oh, you look like a bodybuilder, and I don't really, I don't take offense at it, but I'm not a bodybuilder, but I train more like a powerlifter. And for anybody watching this video, guys or girls, because again, girls, breaking down misconceptions and myths here, strength training is the best way of getting in shape. That's just facts. There's many different studies out there that prove this. If you want that toned, lean look, the best way to achieve it is through strength training and heavy strength training, low reps. So you're talking 90% of your 1 rep max, you're talking 3 to 5 reps of maybe a 5x5 program or a strong lift program or a powerlifting program. Again, the other two pathways, the muscle damage and cellular fatigue, those are effective, and I would also incorporate them into your program. You can do say an alternate day where you do lighter weights, by all means utilize all pathways to achieve optimum muscle growth. But however, like many people have asked me, if it was to boil it down, what is the most important and most effective means of gaining muscle, or the most important pathway? It is undoubtedly mechanical tension and lifting heavy ass weight in the gym 3 times a week. That fucking will pack. That will put on muscle. What, like maybe like fluffing about doing fucking like 12 reps on certain exercises, yes, you might gain a little bit of muscle, but trust me, you will not gain the kind of muscle you could possibly gain if you've done a good strength training program 5x5. So the second golden rule of achieving optimum muscle mass is your muscles do not grow in the gym, they grow when they are fed. And what I mean by this rule is you need to eat to build muscle. Unless you're an absolute beginner, when you're an absolute beginner, you can do marvelous things. You can achieve what is called beginner gains, and in that particular scenario, you can actually gain muscle and lose fat. You can achieve body recomposition, and that can take place in the first 6 months of the year of your training. However, past that point, you no longer avail of that benefit. That benefit goes away, and from that point onwards, it's just a case of you either bulk up trying to gain muscle and minimize fat loss, or you try to cut, and in the process of cutting, you cut body fat, but you try to minimize muscle loss. You can't do both at that point unless you decide to go and hop on steroids. That's the only way. 2 ways you can only achieve both muscle gain and fat loss, and that is when you're a beginner, first 6 months of the year, or you're on steroids. So I'm assuming that most people watching this do not want to take steroids. So when it comes to your muscles, and they grow whenever you feed them. So it goes without saying, I've said this before in videos, you need to fucking eat calories. You need to make sure you're eating. You need to make sure you're in a calorie surplus. Again, like I said, if you are past that beginner stage, you will not grow any appreciable amount of muscle if you're either eating maintenance calories or you're in a calorie deficit. Definitely when you're in calorie deficit and you're past that beginner stage, you are not gaining muscle. You may possibly be able to get stronger, because myself, from my own personal experience, I have actually gained strength while engaging in a cut and trying to lose body fat, but it's next to impossible to try and gain muscle while also dieting and trying to cut fat. So again, making sure you've adequate calories, you're in a calorie surplus. Your protein intake, it's imperative that you are eating enough protein, and a general recommendation that I would give to people would be eat 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So if you are a man and you weigh 180 pounds, that is 180 grams of protein per day. If you are a 120 pound woman, that is 120 grams of protein per day. And it's not the end of the world if you fall short of that. I would say a good, like for most people, as long as you're hitting over 100 grams of protein per day, you'll probably be alright. If you're an athlete and you train quite regularly and you train quite hard, I would honestly say you could probably up that intake. If you're a man, for instance, if you're a 200 pound man who's an athlete and is not only doing strength training and strength and conditioning, but is also, say, a football player and having multiple training sessions, I would highly recommend that you get yourself a protein powder, a good protein supplement, because you see, the key to actually gaining muscle as well is that there's a thing called muscle protein synthesis, and you want your muscle protein synthesis, which is the buildup of protein, to outweigh your muscle protein, like the breakdown of proteins. If the building and buildup of proteins outweighs the breakdown of proteins, you will be able to build muscle. However, if it's the reverse, you won't be able to build muscle. And for guys who engage a lot of training and who are athletic, who are athletes, you will need to up your protein intake, because you are simply, because exercise in and of itself is a catabolic activity. In other words, it actually breaks muscle down, and obviously whenever it breaks muscle down, you're not going to lose loads of muscle. It's after that then muscle protein synthesis is elevated, and you're able to then repair and grow your muscles, but through your nutrition, through your sleep, through your recovery. So yes, recapping, yes, if you're an athlete, increase your protein intake. If you're a 200 pound man who's an athlete, I would say you'd want to be hitting at least 200 grams of protein, if not more, because you simply have greater protein needs you also have more muscle mass and more lean mass, so you definitely need the higher protein intake. So, and then when it comes to like ensuring you have an optimal intake of fat if you're a man, because that's how your testosterone, that's one of the key ways your testosterone is produced. If you're an athlete as well, making sure you're getting a good source of carbohydrates to help fuel your workouts, to fuel the more intense explosive workouts. And yeah, that's the second rule. Now the third golden rule when it comes to gaining muscle is something that probably a lot of people neglect and take for granted, and that is sleep. Now, it has been proven in multiple studies that a lack of sleep deprivation, has a profoundly detrimental impact on your muscle gains and on your muscle mass. In fact, several studies have proven that prolonged sleep deprivation actually causes you to lose muscle. And it's just a lack of sleep can cause so many health problems, not even just losing muscle. It increases your chances of all-cause mortality, which is all major diseases. Sleep is so important, and everybody is different. Generally speaking, you should be aiming for 7 to 8 hours every night. There are some people who can get by on less, but if you're an athlete as well, I would say you need more sleep. If you're training nearly every day, you probably need 9 hours sleep. A lot of NFL athletes, NBA athletes who train quite intensely, they would be sleeping 9-10 hours a day. Now, from a practical standpoint, I realise that that is something that everybody can implement. We all have lives, we all have jobs, we all have responsibilities, and we can't just lie in for 9 hours. But just strive to at least get 7 to 8 hours, because your muscles grow, your muscles repair. The recovery process really does take place whenever you sleep, so it's imperative that you get your night's sleep. So to recap then, the 3 golden rules of optimum muscle gain are: number 1, providing the right stimulus, which is by the 3 key pathways, which is mechanical tension, cellular fatigue, and muscle damage. And the biggest and best variable when it comes to building muscle is undoubtedly mechanical tension, lifting heavy ass weight with low reps consistently. The second golden rule of optimum muscle gain is, of course, your nutrition, what you put into your body. Your muscles grow by what you feed them. And the third and final golden rule of achieving optimal muscle gain is sleep and recovery, ensuring that you get adequate sleep and you get adequate recovery. So those are my 3 golden rules of optimal muscle gain. So thank you for watching, and I appreciate it. Love you all.